Hello, you guys. How are you? Welcome back to our channel. We are so glad that you're here. For those of you that are new here or don't know who we are, I'm Crystal Lopez. I blog at crystalandcomp.com, and that is Kelli, my business partner bestie, and she blogs. Kelli Miller is at 3boysandadog.com, and we want to chat with you today.
So, hey guys, yeah, together we've spent, almost 20 years each. Together we've spent almost 40 years.
Oh my goodness.
Blogging, building businesses, and helping creators like you grow their platforms. So we've been helping creators for over 10 years. And today we're tackling a huge question that we know a lot of you guys have been asking.
Yeah. Yes. This one actually has created quite a bit of buzz in our Facebook group. Drum roll, please, Kelli. Do you guys know what it is? What's the topic, Kelli?
Is SEO as we know it dead?
That's right. Is search engine optimization, which is what SEO stands for, is it worth your time in 2025? Or is it just a thing of the past? Is that on your mind? Is that something you've been thinking about? If this has been on your mind, stick around because we are going to break it all down for you and tell you all the things we know, because we don't just train in this space. We don't just consult in this space. We are current bloggers in this space. And as Kelli said, we have been for almost 40 years together combined, but almost 20 years independently. So by the end of this video, you're going to know how SEO, search engine optimization, has evolved and how it is used, or how you can currently use it to drive lots of traffic to your blog or your business, even in a saturated world with all the changes that are happening in this space. Okay?
Yes. And we're going to share strategies that are working right now. So you know exactly where to focus your energy. Does that sound good?
It does.
Does it sound good? Okay, let's get into it. First things first.
Yep.
Spoiler alert. SEO is not dead. But the way it works has changed quite a bit. Back in the day, blogging was so much simpler. You'd write a blog post, you'd stuff it with a whole bunch of keywords, and voila, people would just magically find you through Google, right?
It was magical. I remember those days, okay? It was all about cramming the phrase best chocolate chip cookie recipe 500 times into a 300-word blog post. You guys remember that? Right? Calling it good. Kind of like how we talked last week about Pinterest. Back in the day, you could pin 200 pins a day. You can't do that anymore, right? Same thing with SEO. But now that's too much. It doesn't work. Google has had to tighten things up because there is so much competition out there. So,
right. And they're way smarter now. Google algorithms are constantly evolving. And today they're looking at things like user intent, quality content, and even how fast your site loads. It's a completely different ballgame. And people are able to search with their mouth now. Yeah. So they're not just trying to type in with their two fingers because they really don't know how to use a keyboard. You know, back in the day, people would just type in chicken because they're looking for a chicken recipe, right? Now they're like, hey, so-and-so, wiretap. Show me a recipe for chicken that uses broccoli and then I can cook in the crock pot for like 20 minutes. Right. Oven for like 20 minutes.
And right? Our kids are using AI as well. Like I asked my kids, how did you find this? How did you get to this? Oh, I mean, they're just using voice to find. But what does that mean? With voice, we use more words, right? Mm-hmm. So think about that. That's actually a really great thing that you brought up. I'm glad you did. That's really good. So it's no longer about playing hide and seek with keywords. It's about actually delivering real value to your audience. We talk about that a lot. The content you're creating needs to solve a problem. Okay. Don't worry. We're going to break all of this down for you and how you can do it. We're going to make it easy for you. We're going to cover what has changed, and we're going to give you actionable SEO, search engine optimization tips that you can use right now in 2025. And of course, we're going to share our favorite evergreen strategy that has stood the test of time.
Yes. And trust us, you're going to get some major light bulb moments in this one. Okay. So first up, what has actually changed about SEO, Crystal?
Well, Kelli, can we take a quick trip down memory lane? I remember way back in 2013, 2012, when you could write, like I was talking about earlier, a 300-word blog post, slap a few keywords in the title, and boom, traffic would come pouring in. Actually, do you remember when we could instantly get things indexed. Remember?
Yes.
Mm-hmm. That
When
was
blog Hangouts was our original name here because of Google Hangouts. Yes, those were the wonderful days, wasn't they, Crystal? But like we said earlier, search engines have evolved so much since then because they have to. Because more and more people are using them now, right? Google is not just a company anymore. It's a name that it's an action. It's a verb, right?
Yeah.
We Google things now. Like Kleenex. Doesn't even matter what brand it is. If you're in the South, it's like Coke, right? You want a Coke. It's like a Q-tip, not a cotton swab, right? So it's different and more people are using it. So the algorithms have to change. And today people are looking at more than just keywords. And Google is looking at more than just keywords. Google wants to make sure that your content genuinely meets the needs of whoever is searching. And listen to me, guys, do not get offended. You think it does. We all think it does. It's really hard to look at our content without feelings attached to it. So we think we've done everything that we need to, but we really need somebody else to go, this is what's wrong here. This is the problem here. Here's what I see here.
Yep, exactly. Google knows when someone's searching for something like best laptop for video editing, for example, okay? And they're going to actually prioritize results of blog posts or reviews that give more thorough answers, right? So it doesn't care if you've just repeated the phrase best laptop for video editing 15 times. That's not going to give the best helpful results for the end user, which is all of this, right now the big buzz is still, people are still talking about helpful content update, but it comes down to,
is your content really helpful?
Right. Are
just
you
because you think it is doesn't mean it is.
Right.
Right. If you just tell me to go buy a MacBook Pro because it's the best one, you haven't solved my problem. Right. Why? What needs to be on that laptop? On that MacBook Pro. Why is it the best one for video editing? What speed do I need? How much RAM do I need? What size screen do I need? And again, why? What makes it the best laptop for video editing?
Right.
Just telling me something and giving me an affiliate link is not actually solving my problem. Giving me the specs on it is not solving my problem. I can find those specs on Amazon or on Apple. Why do you personally think that this is the best laptop for video editing? And why might I not think that it's the best one based on all of your information? That is actually helpful content.
Right. The same thing goes for recipes. It's not just broccoli chicken casserole recipe. What problem is this solving? This is for someone who needs quick, fast dinners. Like, what is it? What are the problems that you're solving? And how are you working that into the content that you're creating? All right.
Yeah. Right. It's not just that, right? Because SEO now factors in things like mobile friendliness, not mobile. That's where I live. Mobile friendliness, user experience, page speed, even how long people stay on your site. Do they come to your site and then leave immediately? If so, that tells Google that your site's not solving the problem.
Right.
So basically, it's more than just quantity. It's quality and quantity. And again, you've got to step back and actually look at your site. We can't just think that we're giving quality content. We have to know that we're giving quality content. And we know that based on how Google rewards us.
That's right. Right. Here's something else that you guys need to keep at the forefront of your mind. Competition is fiercer than it has ever been. And right now, with all these changes that are happening in our industry in all the areas, those that do not have a solid business are going to be weeded out. Okay. There are millions of blogs out there, which means we all need to work smarter to stand out, because everybody, Facebook, Pinterest, Google, Bing, they're all making it more difficult for us to stand out. Because if we're only creating subpar content, they're not going to show it to their end user, right?
But also, even if your content is good, if somebody else's is better, they're going to show somebody else's. And you don't get to decide whose is better. The number of people that come to your site and stay on your site, or that go to those other sites and stay on those other sites, are the ones proving which one's better.
And here's the good news. If you focus on creating genuinely valuable content, then you're going to be golden. Okay. That means genuinely valuable content is not sharing a long story about Dear Aunt Sally Okay. It's not stuffing the same keyword or, being selfish about the content. It is serving the person that is using it. So think helpful guides, tutorials, answer their questions. What is your audience searching for? When your target audience lands on this broccoli chicken casserole recipe or lands on whatever the example was, the laptop post, what is it that they really want? What are the intentions of that user? And are you keeping them in mind when you're creating this content? Okay.
Yes, exactly. And here's the game-changing shift that blew my mind.
Okay.
Okay. Because I've been doing SEO for a very long time.
Mm-hmm.
And I've talked about it, but I didn't realize how important it was until it smacked me in the face. SEO today is really and truly built around user intent. That means that you have to understand why someone is searching, not just what they're typing into Google.
Right. That is so true. Yes. So when you figure out what your audience truly needs, that's when the magic is going to happen. Okay. Which leads to our aha moment. So here it is, friends. SEO isn't dead. It's just way smarter. Okay. It's smarter. It is a bot that is smarter. It's been trained better. And when you learn how to meet Google standards and to serve your audience where they're at, solving those problems like we just talked about, SEO can still be your biggest traffic driver. But until you make this mindset shift, you're going to keep struggling. Okay?
Yeah, absolutely. Absolutely. Think of SEO like Crystal always says, like the rings of an onion, but also it's like planting seeds. Okay.
Yeah.
Those things take some time to grow, but once they grow, then they can work for you for months or years without the constant battle. Think about a lemon tree or an orange tree. They take forever to start producing, or
5 years.
asparagus. But once they do, they produce forever and ever and ever, right? Or at least as long as you take care of them. Social media posts, they disappear in around 24 hours. But an SEO optimized article keeps bringing you traffic in the background for a long, long time.
And this is why we believe so strongly in SEO. It's not just about getting noticed by Google. It's about creating content that your audience loves and trusts. So when somebody goes and searches for chicken broccoli casserole recipe and they come to you and they realize you're an authority on this, you're solving their problems. You're not just giving them the recipe, but you're helping them get dinner on the table night after night after night. You're helping them figure out all the ways that they can use up that leftover broccoli. You're helping them figure out how they could take this and freeze it and then make 2 at one time and serve another one, put it in the freezer and serve another one in 2 or 3 weeks. That's the key to sustainable growth and meeting your end user where they're at and solving their problems.
Yes. So if you've been discouraged about SEO, don't give up. You just need to shift your approach. And you need to start working with the changes instead of resisting or complaining about the changes.
All right, so practical time. Are you ready? Here are our top tips for crushing SEO in 2025. Grab your notebook, grab a piece of paper, friends. We're going to give you a list and you're going to want to write it down and keep it handy. Keep it near your desk, okay? All right, Kelli, tell them tip number 1.
Quantity over quality. Look, if you've watched us for long, you know that we are big advocates for lots and lots of content. We fully believe you need to be producing. You're a blogger. You need to be blogging, right? But if your quality is impacted because of your quantity, then that's a huge problem. It is better to post one really, really great article than to post 5 surface level articles. So I need you to focus on creating content that answers your audience's questions and keeps them coming back for more. As opposed to just, I did 30 blog posts this month and it hasn't done anything, but were they quality?
Right. Mm-hmm. Tip number 2, you need to master your on-page SEO. What does that mean? This means strategically placing your keywords in the right places, like your title, like your meta title, like your meta description, like your headings. So your H2s and H3s, are you using those? Like putting them in your alt text, doing all of this properly. But please write for humans first. Okay. Yes. Humans are the ones that are consuming the information and doing something with it, right? If it doesn't sound natural, rewrite it. Google will thank you and your end user will thank you. And if they think that this was written by a bot, listen, we create content using AI all the time, but we can't have that content sounding like it's been written by AI, right? Because the end user will not trust us. And we
Right.
have them trust us.
And the user is important, which leads us to number 3, prioritize the user experience.
Yep.
Make sure that your site loads quickly. Make sure that navigation is easy. Make sure that it works beautifully on mobile. Make sure that it's easy to read for people of all ages, people with all eyesight problems, right? Because if people leave your site because of a bad experience, because of bad design, bad load times, bad navigation, it tells Google that your content is not worth sticking around for.
Right. Exactly. Tip number 4, you need to be building backlinks. Are you doing this? Okay. When other websites link to your content, Google sees it as a vote of confidence. It is true. It is proving to Google that you are who you say you are and that others trust you. Other people that are gurus in this space trust you, not just the readers. And that's really important. Okay. Especially with all of this stuff that's being created in a very shady way to kind of gain the system. We aren't linking to them. So at some point, their efforts are going to stop working because no one is giving them kudos and high fives. No one's linking to them. Collaborate with others in your niche or create resources create resources so good that people want to link to them. So 2 schools of thoughts here. Back in the day, we used to have tribes. We still encourage people to have tribes. Okay. But I don't think it's as commonly said in this space in other places. Your tribe mates should be linking to you and you should be linking to your tribe mates. But if you don't have tribe mates, the second part of what I just said is what's really important. Create content that's so good that when another blogger who doesn't know who you are finds that content on Pinterest or on Google or on Facebook, it's so good they want to link to it. It pairs well with what they are creating and they want to connect to you.
And the people that say, "Oh, don't link to somebody a whole bunch of times, that looks unnatural," don't listen to them. They don't know what they're talking about.
Right.
Okay? Because we link to Pinterest 1,000 times if we have 1,000 blog posts, right? Or 2,000 times if we have 2,000 blog posts. And Google's not saying, "Oh, well, that doesn't count," because no. They're understanding, man, this site is so valuable and so well connected to this site that this site sees a reason to link to them over and over and over again. Okay. And here's a bonus tip.
Okay. I love bonuses.
Use your AI. Use it ethically. Use it so that it can help use it ethically. It can help you. It can help you brainstorm ways to expand a piece of content. It can help you brainstorm lists of LSI terms that you need to be using within that content. It can even help you understand what cluster topics are trending so that you can dig in your search console and figure out where you need to go next.
I like that. But also it can help you if you write a blog post and then before it's time to make it live, you realize that you use the word poultry or you use the word chicken 34 times. That's a problem, right? If you have a 700 or 900 word blog post, that's too many times to use it. Have AI tell you what are 50 alternative ways to use this word? What are 10 alternative ways to use this word, right? Use it for your benefit in that way. Okay. And don't forget, here's the other thing that we want you to do. Make sure that you are checking your analytics. Kelli and I are all about, we don't want you to feel like something's working. We don't want you to think that something's working. We want you to know that something is working. Okay. That comes from numbers, not from emotion. Okay. Thinking and feeling are emotions. So Google Analytics, G4, and Search Console are your best friends. They should be. They are free tools that are your phone call to Google, okay? They're going to help you understand what's working, but also where you can and should be improving, okay? So to wrap it up, I'm going to say it one more time. This is like my 4th time to say it. SEO is not dead, not even close. It's just more strategic now. It requires more strategy than it's ever required before. And if you focus on quality, like Kelli has been talking about, and if you focus on value, and if you focus on meeting your audience where they are, you're going to see the results. The reason why Costco's parking lot is full of people, is full of cars, is because they are meeting the needs of the people that need something. Okay. And those people are in there shopping. The same thing can happen for you. Okay.
Yes. And don't get discouraged if you're not seeing overnight success. You're not going to. Remember, SEO is a long game. Those seeds that you plant today will grow into something amazing if you stick with it. And to be honest, we've said it 100,000 times. You're working for next year. You're working for next year. Remember that.
And that's hard when we want instant gratification, when we're used to end caps that give us those extra goodies to add into our Valentine gift that we're giving to somebody, and we don't have to walk back into the store. We love instant gratification. SEO is not instant gratification. All right. So we want to hear from you. What is your biggest struggle with SEO right now? Leave us a comment. Okay. Is it keywords? Is it content creation? Is it backlinks? Is it writer's block? What's the deal? Drop it in the comments below because we want to help you. Okay. All right, Kelli, final thought?
Yeah, final thought. I get it. Google is putting a lot of the answers in the search results now, but that can only last for so long. Can only last for a very short period of time because about 95% of the ads on everybody's site tracks back to Google. That's how Google makes their money, is with those ads. So if the people aren't going to the sites, the ads aren't loading, they're not making their money. I want you to remember that.
True.
And don't forget to subscribe to our channel and hit that notification bell so that you don't miss our next video. We have so much more to share, and you're not going to want to miss what's coming next.
Yep. All right, guys. Thanks for hanging out with us today. We really loved it. And remember, the future of SEO is still bright. You've got this. You just got to adjust. Okay. That's part of running a business. And you don't have to be alone in this solopreneurship that you're doing. Okay. We'll see you next week in our next video where we're going to share more helpful tips so that you can grow your blog. All right. Okay. Bye for now. Go do something amazing on your blog. Bye.